Hi, this is Gail and welcome to my channel. Today I'm working in my altered book and I'm kind of following along with the prompt from Journal to Inspire project, which has to do with taking a greeting card and revamping it and using it in a different way. So let's take a look. Here's where I had started. This was my first spread with the tags and stenciling, etc. Pretty lively. Now, when I found those papers, I also had these in there, and so I thought I'd kind of like to use those as well. So I tore them around to make them look a little more aged. I also used, let me get it to show you. Whoops. I used the shaded lilac to distress around the edges. And then this actually, as I was looking at it, I looked, and up here, if you notice, it kind of looks like catalog, quick order, free catalog, etc. Like this might have been a cover on a burpee seed catalog or something from it. So I've got that, and I'm always about upcycling things. And then this is actually a piece of vellum. So you can see it's lighter over here. Again, I use the shaded lilac to distress around the edges that I tore so that it would fit on here. And I really like that the print is peeking through. So I thought I would do this page with you. I have a pocket that I want to make to put on here with a cute little booklet inside with some secret writing. My grandson would love it. And it has a pocket over here. So we'll get on to that in just a second. So for right now, let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to be moving back and forth. I'm going to apologize in advance for shadows and things, but we're having yet another dreary day here in Saginaw, Michigan. So I can't change the weather. I have extra lighting, but sometimes it only does so much. In a house the age of mine, it's weird, but they have no lights in the center of the room and the ceiling. So everything is relatively, a lamp or some extra lighting that I use in here. But honestly, on a day like today, I don't think it matters. I have a great light right up above me and to the right that hangs down, and I can move it around. But regardless, we're going to have some shadows, so nothing I can do about that. And I apologize, but can't really help it. Okay, so here we go. Get that out of my way. And I just want it all on the page is all I want. Doesn't have to cover up all the print. It's kind of cool seeing the text of the book around the edges some. Peeking out a little bit. So I hope it's not dreary where you are. I just know that just kind of isn't a fun feeling to get up and see dreary and clouds for days on end, but that is what it is in the wintertime lots of times. So we just deal, don't we? Okay, so far so good there. Oh, and in here, part of the prompt was to take a card and to revamp it and maybe use it as a flip out or a pocket. Well, I'd already done one and used it as a little book. So what I did, and I'll show you, I'll make a pocket out of one at the end of this video. What I had done is I had collaged just sort of creamy text colored papers on the back, you know, just beige and white and whatever. But then I decoupaged napkins on top. And then I added a label, a little bit of cheesecloth, a little butterfly and some bling in the flowers. And then what you see here is the stitching for creating the book. So I just stenciled the inside cover, right? I did round the pages, the corners of the pages of the little book. Just inserted some papers that I had hanging around and put them in. And where's the center? Here. Here's the center. I attached a little charm. So, yeah, that's all I did here. So, anyhow, that will go in this pocket, which I need to glue right now. So, and again, I'm using this fine line red top glue. It's very similar to Barely Art glue and Art Glitter glue. It might be a little bit runnier than the Barely Art glue and Art Glitter glue, but like the Barely Art glue, it gives you a little bit more time to move things around before it sticks down and you can't move it anymore. So it's a pocket, and you see where my thumb is on my left hand, and that is where, yeah. And I'm not sure why I put that down here, because I really don't need it, to be honest. So, take that off. I don't know why I put it there. Didn't have to. Could have left it. Probably wouldn't have mattered, but hey, it's done. So now, I'm going to bring them up together as best I can and make sure that they're nice and snug against one another. And now I have my pocket there. Okay, then I want to put this down. Now, yeah, I'll go ahead and use the glue stick on it. Sometimes that doesn't stick so well, but if you use a liquid glue, oopsie, well, there went the rest of my glue. It's kind of done for, I believe. Time to get a new glue stick. Let me slip over here and get one. So this one doesn't feel new either, but I'll use it anyhow. Use it on up. You can tell it hasn't been used in a while. It's stiff. I think I'm going to get another one because that's going to take me forever at the rate I'm going. Okay. Might find one that's workable sometime. Okay, well, hopefully this will stick. Okay. And even though this comes out blue, it dries clear, so don't worry about that. And again, sometimes vellum is a bugger to stick down. Okay, there went my mouse. This little work area that I'm at, it's very challenging because it's at a slant. And I just ordered and received from Michael's a little cart that has flip-up ends, so it's like a little table. And I might see if I can wheel that over here and use that instead to work on and perhaps film on. So we shall see. Okay, so I probably should have glued on here. Ugh. As well, but oh well. If you glue on both the paper and on the surface, sometimes you don't get the curling or the bubbling. Oh, you can see it's blue under there. Everything else is turned clear but that, so I hope that's going to change. Okay, and this I can tell is not, doesn't have enough. So put some, ooh, there we go, and it oozed out. That wasn't good. Okay, and it looks like right here could use a little. So we'll do that. See if that helps. Okay, so for right now, okay, that's bugging me that it's blue, but, and that it hasn't changed yet. Oh, there we go. That's helping. Oops. Oozing some out here. Let's put it under here. There. Okay, not going to worry about it because it's going to be fine. Alright, so now what I have, of course, this will slip in the little pocket, but I kind of don't want it under there. Well, I guess it can go under there for right now. And then kind of hang a little bit so I know that it's in there and don't forget about it. Okay, so the next thing that I have reaching over you is this little pocket. I kind of gathered some things together to speed things up a bit. So, see, this is just a scrap sheet that I have here to work on. I don't throw anything out. Okay, so what I want to do is we'll slide this off, and I want to put this all together. So, first of all, I'm gonna glue this stone, and I'm not gonna make it, it doesn't have to stick down all over the place. I just want it to stick mostly at the top, and this is a piece of vellum that I cut to fit in the spot here, and then I went ahead and I distressed it. And then I started looking for goodies to go on top of it to dress it up a little bit. Okay. Then I want this to kind of just hang down below this cutesy ruffle that my friend Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes made for me. So I think that will work right in there, but let's just do some gluing. Things I do like about this fine line ink or glue is that it really, that nice little point on it is great, and it seems to, so far, do the trick without any problems. It sticks things down well, gives me a little bit more time to move things around than the art glitter glue did. So I'm liking that. Now I could use Fabri-Tac on this, but really it's been my experience that these glues should hold it down as well, or have in the past. And I don't think it needs a lot more than just the center. They are getting glued because I want it to kind of stick down a little bit. So that should go right onto the paper. It'll stick above the envelope edge, the pocket edge, and there. My fingers are sticking right to it, so it's working. Okay, now I want this to stick down, and again I'm just going to put a line right along here. Call it good enough. Sorry about the sniffles. Sinuses in Michigan. Once I moved to Michigan, it just seemed like I constantly have sinus issues. It just never goes away. It's very frustrating. And I even had sinus surgery about 10 years ago. So, yeah. These are just some, laces and trims that I had. Didn't go out and buy anything. I just thought, use what I have. I don't know, I kind of felt like the glitter of this might be a bit much for a botanical, but hey, every now and then a little bling never hurt anybody, right? Just want to get that to stick down for right now. Okay. A little sticky. I can't stand that on my hands. I don't know about anybody else, but yuck. Okay, and then these are just threads that I wound around to create almost like a little nest. So I'm just putting some glue on them in hopes that, like a little nest, they'll stay stuck down. We'll see. Okay. Gonna put that in the center. Yes, I got to get out of the house today. I had a periodontist appointment. Not that that's fun, but at least it was an outing. You know, in normal times, if I went and did something like that, I'd have called up and met a friend for lunch or something afterwards. And these days, nope, not happening. So I came home, and kind of a bummer, but, you know, I left on my good clothes to do my filming of my video because, well, not that you can see my clothes, but yeah, I even have jewelry on. I don't put that on anymore unless I leave. So, yeah, whoops, I hope I'm not stuck to the paper here on the bottom. Yeah, maybe a little bit there. That's all good. Okay, and this isn't wanting to stay stuck. Okay, so now, all I want to create a pocket. So again, I only want it on the 3 sides, not where my thumb is at. So I'm going to go around here and around here and here. Yeah, a little bit there too. Ugh, it's dripping bad. Okay. And let's see. I just thought down here near the bottom would be good. I did use the glue on this, so hopefully it will stick. and will disappear. It's supposed to dry clear, but sometimes with vellum you just don't know what it's going to do. So we will see. My fingers are sticky, so okay. So then I do have something I want to put in that pocket. And I'm kind of feeling like at some point I'm probably going to want to put something up here too. Maybe a cluster or something, or a tag that dangles. But actually this is for writing, so you know, it is fine the way it is. So while that's drying, let's move on to what goes inside the pocket. Okay, so this is actually a fun little paper folding, and here's what we're gonna make. We're gonna make one of these that pops open. It's a little secret writing area. Okay, we're gonna make one exactly like that to go inside this, which is more of the vellum, and it's just cut into a little book. Now, this little book is about 2.5 wide by 3 tall. And I started with, let me tell you the size of this paper. This is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. You want to start with a square, okay? You can make any size you want, but you start with a square. And let me show you how it's done. So, first, you fold up, make sure your edges meet as best you can. Fold and crease. A bone folder is helpful. Undo it. Now you're going to go the other direction, so you have a little cross in the center of your paper when you're done. So you want the edges to meet up as closely as possible. Yep, like so. And crease. Okay, pretty easy, right? Then you choose one of these, doesn't matter which, because they're, you know, equal on all sides. And the first thing you're going to do is take the top corner and let's see. Yeah, you want to use the fold side up, okay? Make sure that's the fold side up. Then you take that, you find the center, and you make the triangle. Okay? Then you're going to fold it back and do the same thing in reverse with that. Okay, then bring it back. Now you're going to take this one and bring it over. It's going to hit the center as well. Fold it down. Then you're going to fold it back as well. And make sure that works, and that's crease. Now you have that, right? Pretty easy stuff. Okay, so what you want to do next is you want to, hang on, let me look at this. I'm so bad at this right now. Okay. We've already done both sides doing that. Okay. So what we want to do is, oh, I know. forgot this part. Okay, so now you want to, on where that fold is, that's where you want to push it in. So like so, and like so. Okay, so those are folded in. See what I did? This was the fold. Push that in and bring it over. So now I have a triangle on that side. Okay, over here I'm going to do the same thing. Push that center in. Bring that over. And now I have a triangle. Okay, so I have a triangle. No matter which way you look at it, it's a triangle. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to take this little pointy corner and bring it over to the center, fold it over and crease it. Then we're going to fold it back and crease it. Okay, so you see it like that. Then bring it forward again. Now this side. Bring it over, crease it, open it back, crease it backwards. Okay, then bring it open. Flip it over, we're going to do the same thing on the back. So there's your center. Bring that little tiny point there. You've got that little tiny triangle. Now fold it back and crease it and then open it up. Okay. Now, same thing over here again. Find your center. Had to look because it's kind of hidden in all these flowers. Crease it, then open it back up, flip it to the back, and crease it, and now open it up. Okay, so what we're going to try to do now is end up with a shape that looks like this, like a house. So we're going to do to this little triangle like we did with the bigger triangle. So I'm going to take that, push it in, and voila. Again, over here, push it in along that fold we made. So now we have half of it in a house shape. Let's go back over here, push it in. Oops, our house is almost done on both sides, and push it in. So there, we have another house, right? We have two of them. Now, I had gone ahead and distressed around the outer edges, but I want to take a minute and distress around just those few areas that were not hit. Okay, so that would be all these edges. So I want to get those. Flip it over, get those. Now again, you don't have to do this. This is me. Then I'm going to open it up and get those edges. And those edges. I don't really know that this even shows that much, to be honest. Okay. Open it up over here. Get those. And those, could see, notice the bottom's already done. And yeah, that's it. Got it all. Okay. So, the last part of this is we want to actually glue these together, right? Okay, so I want to take my glue carefully because I don't want this to ooze over. And on the back of one of them, put the glue. Don't let it ooze. Just enough so it's together. Okay, what side do I want against it? It doesn't really matter, does it? Let's just put this one here. So, trying to make sure we're all kind of lined up. Glue it down. Okay. We'll stick it under the book here for a minute. I get a cleanup. Okay. Now, so see, they're all stuck together. Pretty cool, huh? Now, I need to stick them to this, don't I? So, in order for it to open right, you have to stick it. I don't want it like right on top of that fold, but pretty close. So you see the direction that it's in, the bottom of the house to the door opening and the point to, yeah, the spine. Okay, so gonna glue it down again. Okay, so I'm just gonna eyeball it. Want it kind of equidistant, but not right in there, but close. So I think that's pretty good. Alrighty. And I'm going to put the book on that for a minute. Yeah, there we go. And okay, so now let's see how it does. Oh yeah, doing good. Doing good. Okay. So now what I want to do is I've got to glue that onto this piece, right? So get my glue out. Don't know why my glue is dripping down from way up high on this. Don't think it should be doing that, but it is, right? So, okay, so now just gonna fold that down and over and press. And this came from Dee Dee, who got it from a lady by the name of Wendy. And the pocket for the next pocket in Dee Dee's series comes from Wendy. Very similar to this, only it's not a double one. It's a singular one of the hidden little writing spaces, origami, if you will. Now, I also saw something similar to this done and I did it with Carol Parker of Oak House Designs, and so Oak House Journals. Anyhow, so there we go. Now, let's put it under the book again for a few. Make sure it's pressed down. Yeah, I'm really feeling like I might want something up there. It's kind of plain, but then again, that's where you want to do your writing. So, I think for today I'm going to leave it, but I am going to make a pocket, and maybe I want to put that pocket up there too and put something in it to write on. But I really do like this paper. Things don't have to be like, you don't have to have something everywhere. It can be kind of plain so you can write. And I do write in my journals, so. Okay, let's try it out. Oof, I'm scared. See if it works. It does. See how you have all the space to write on? Very cool. And it's hidden. So that's really neat. Exciting. So that will fit right in here in my little book. So what do you think? How do you like that page? Kind of like it. And then, of course, there's a little booklet inside. So, I don't know, I feel like it needs something, but I'm going to just think about it for the time being, and let's get started on the next half of this. Now, the next half is, I thought that since I had already done that greeting card one, I have these cards, and what I thought I would do is make like a double pocket out of them. Now, I don't really need 2 layers in this, so to cut down on the bulk, I'm going to cut this down. And these were card sets that my sister-in-law gave to me. And so finally, I'm using up some more of them. Okay, so I also feel like if I'm going to collage and decoupage on this bottom one, I really only have to do a little strip around the edges, don't I? So don't waste time. And I want to put a thumb notch in here. So let me get that. Squeaky chair. And, okay, I could measure and find center, but yeah, I'm not big on measuring. So I'm just going to crease that to find my center to put in a thumb notch. And I don't want it too deep. There, okay. And speaking of measuring, in case you want to use the same size as me, this one is 7.5 tall by 6 wide. So 6 by 7.5. And then the smaller one, and again, I'm going to put a thumb notch. It's just easier to get stuff in and out. Okay. Whew. Oh, those things shoot all over the place. And this one is 5.5 tall by 4 wide. So 4 by 5.5, okay? And then I'm going to create a double pocket. Okay, so That should be easy enough to do. And all I'm going to do is take scraps that are sitting up here on my desk. First, I'm going to go around the outer edge here. And I don't really want a bunch of just plain white space. But, yeah, we can do something like that for around the edge. And that I'm going to use my Oohoo glue. Ugh. I think I got a little carried away there. Oh, I know I did. Look at that big goober. Gracious sakes, Gail. Okay. So, there we go. Okay. And now, what else do I have here on my table? I am sure that I have some book text up here. Oh yeah, here we go. More music paper. At least that wasn't what I thought it was. Oh, here's some coffee or tea stain paper. I hate to tear that up because I can use that in a little notepad though, so let's find something else. Okay. Okay. Here's some page. This is the book page that I had tried to use to age with lemon juice, and that didn't really work out. So, and I'm just letting it kind of overlap the edges for now, and I'll go and cut that off in a second. So, let's see. Up here. And there we go. It's too bad I glued that already because I like that side better. But what you gonna do? Okay. And then, yes, I saw some ledger paper up here. Ugh. There we go. Okay. And I don't really want a colored piece of paper at this point. Let's see. Okay, here's another part of a book. And maybe I'm just going to put it on like that. Okay, let's cut that off. Put it on. Let it cover that for right now. Okay, and now we have around the edge to do, and we can do some book page up high. Okay, and let's see what next. Not really much on that to see, is there? So let's do some of this. Okay. Alrighty. So let's see how that works against our card. This isn't the right card. Here it is. That's the one I took off. Okay. So, yep, except I could use just a little something, something there. So let's grab this. Okay. Yep, that works. Okay. Now, let's let that dry, excuse me, before we try to cut that. So now this one, we have to do the whole thing. So I can use some bigger pieces, but again, I really don't, whoopsie, I don't want to use any good papers. I just want to use scraps. And any other time they would be falling out all over the place for me to use. So, of course, right now, not so much so. But it's all good. Okay. So, get rid of the white on this. This has a little bit of color, but more of the beiges. So, I don't know. Does it matter which way it goes? I don't think so. And we don't want to use the whole thing anyhow. We'll just do this. Okay. And then maybe we'll put some over here. To kind of balance the edge a little bit. Okay. And then let's just put a little bit down here, shall we? Or would it look better up at the top? Let's do up here. because we're going to cut that hole out anyhow. Okay. So, this way I've got some torn and I'm just going to start putting glue on and putting them on. Okay. This is time consuming, but it's a little bit relaxing. For me, anyhow. I don't mind doing this at all. Okay, so let's get these up here. And this doesn't have to go in the right direction either. It's kind of fun to just put them on there a little willy-nilly. Okay, there's that one. Then we have that. Oopsie. Oh well, that just adds a little more, doesn't it? Okay. And then we'll kind of do that up here. Okay. So now let's see what else I have in here to play with. Oh, gracious sakes. Any other time, I would just have tons of papers. But I've cleaned up some. And when you clean up, that can make things interesting. That's for sure. So, yes. What is this? Oh, these are numbers, but that might be kind of a cool thing to put down. Right in there, but I want to put something else in there. Oh, I haven't used any music paper yet. So, yeah. Okay. Ugh, I hate that sticky feeling. I must confess. Oh, and then I have this, which is something that didn't print out right. I was running out of ink. So, but that's kind of cool. So sorry I get quiet when I'm working. Okay, oops, it's gonna go. Let's see. Put that there. Now where's that number? Perfect. Maybe we tear around that just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now, will it work? Yep, it'll still work. Okay. So, now, we have our pockets, and they are collaged. So, what I want to do now is get this mess out of my way. And the next thing is to cut around the edges, clean it up a little bit, and then I'm going to decoupage. Okay, and I'm going to use this to get a little bit out of there. Okay, so that's gone. Oops, I forgot to do down here. Be careful not to cut along my fold. Okay. Looks like there's something uneven up there. Okay, got that. Now, I'll do this one. Okay, use this, line it up. Okay, and now let me get rid of my crumbs here so they don't get in my decoupage. Okay, I'm going to fold this over to use this side now. Okay, so what I think I will do is I think I will go ahead and glue this pocket down. And really, I only have to glue the two sides. Okay. Just try to make sure that it gets good adhesion. Okay. So there's our bottom pocket. And now let's glue down the top one. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it. To make sure that it's down there. And then what I'm going to do is do a little decoupage over both of them. So let's see how well that works, right? And even if I don't use it on this page, which I probably won't, I can use it on my next double page spread. So, put the lid back on this so it doesn't get all gunked up. Like it already looks like it is. There we go. Okay. Screw that down and let's look at napkins and then decide which one to use. So I have this one. Ooh, that's pretty. Very pretty. And I have this one. I have this one that's so similar to the other pages, though. I think I'll say no to that. I have this one. You notice I'm kind of moving into the blues. And I have this one. So I'm just sitting here thinking which one will kind of hide and blend in easily. And I'm feeling like this one. So take it apart. And napkins are, as you know, usually 3-ply. So taking off, my fingers are really sticky, so taking off 1 ply, save those because you can stamp on them or use them to make faux handmade paper. Okay, so let's try to get apart the last, there we go. That usually just moistening your fingers and pulling it usually works for me. But if it doesn't, you can always use a piece of tape to pull it up. Now this one is really ripping, and I don't usually have that problem. But it just may be I'm not being as cautious because I'm in more of a hurry. Okay. So, are the pictures all the exact same? Yeah, they are. Pretty sure they are. Now, if I wanted to, I could really put this on in pieces, but I kind of don't see any reason to. And what I thought I would do is put the whole thing down and then just make a slit there for the pocket, because, you know, that seemed pretty easy to me. So, and I just use my glue stick to do that. So, now everything beneath won't show, and that's okay. Enough will show through that you'll kind of get the idea. That's why I'm like, okay, Gail, why did you take so long doing that? Because really, you didn't need to. And I just did something I wished I hadn't have done. Speaking of that, so I'm going to use this napkin. I don't want there to be any napkin here, so I don't want it to stick there. So hopefully I got that all up, and that won't be an issue. Okay, okie dokie. So, let's see what happens. Gonna kind of try to line it up so there isn't a lot of cutting and trimming and whatevering. Now, I could have done napkins on here in a collage fashion like I did with that little book, but I really felt like, why? It's a pocket, and I didn't feel like I needed to do that. Okay, I don't want to keep at this too much, and I just lightly do that because the more you work on it, the more likely it is that you're going to have some rips and tears. But the neat thing is you can just use more napkin over top of where you have a tear and fix it. Now normally I'd probably wait a bit longer to do this, but for right now I'm going ahead. Yeah, normally I'd wait for it to for sure be dry, but well, okay, so we have that. Now, we have this, and I know from past experience that that little punch is gonna get all jammed up if I try to punch it. So, I'm just using my little fussy cut scissors, going around here and cutting that off. Okay. Oh, it looks like a dog gnawed it, but okay. There, we'll get rid of that. Okay. There's that. And now we have this issue to deal with. So, let me find my X-Acto. And believe me, X-Acto knives and we respect each other. Because, yeah, so easy to get hurt with those. if you're not cautious. And for some reason, I am not putting my fingers on mine. It should be right in here. Oh, no, that's not it. Here it is. Okay. So this may be a disaster, I'm just saying, because it's still wet. But, yeah. I'm just going to try to slip it in underneath. I don't know. Yeah, I was afraid that might happen. That it might tear. Because it is still wet. Okay. But, let's see. I think I can slide something down inside there. And you'll never know, right? So, let's take a little piece that's up in the yellow part, right? So, let's just tear off a little piece. Okay, and then we'll just very carefully put glue directly on that. And then very carefully try to it's just there. Slide that down under there. I might even put a piece of lace along there, huh? So, anyhow, you get the idea. Looks like I still have more to trim off over here. Anyways, so where's my page? And this page I'm gonna call done. It has a little booklet made from an upcycled card. And I also have this double pocket that I can use in an upcoming page. And it might have to go this way, or I might have to cut it down because it's too wide for here, isn't it? Whoops, you can't see. Yeah, it's too wide for the page. Unless I turn it this way, but then, okay, well it could. We could have something we stuck in here and then stuff in there. Or I could simply cut it down to use. Cut it down on either side, actually. And that might work really well too. So, stay tuned on this one, but this is something else you can do with upcycled cards. And that's it for Journal to Inspire, Prompt 1. And thanks for checking out my altered book. And until next time, get out there and create, make some art, have some fun, bring some joy. And until next time, bye-bye.